What's going on, people? This is the Too Many Ideas podcast. I'm your host, Mars. This is a podcast where we talk about literally anything. We like to focus on things in music, culture, fashion, film, shit going on in the world. We just try to cover a lot of different stuff because, we pay attention to a lot of things going on in the world and we feel like we have a good viewpoint on what's going on. And this is a show where every episode is going to be different. Every episode is going to be fresh. You might not even see the same people on every single episode. You'll probably always see me. You might see Benji a lot, but not every single episode will be the same people. So with that being said, let me introduce the people that we have on this episode today. It's me, Mars, DJ, filmmaker, whole bunch of different stuff. Then we have Benji, one of the best videographers in the city. Then we also have B, Big B, not Little B, Bianca, who is probably the smartest person in this room, a scholar, which just means she's in school.
Yeah, resident intellect too.
Resident intellect.
Yeah.
That's my
good
first time
title.
hearing that.
Good title. Okay.
I like that.
I've never heard that before. Where'd you
Me
come
either.
up with that?
Just now.
You put that in your notes for this episode.
No, I
didn't you?
don't have any notes. No notes.
I feel like
vibes.
She got prepared. I'm a little prepared.
Just vibes. Okay, just vibes. All right. So what I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about today is, we're into a new decade now. Going into we're in 2021 now, and something that a lot of people have been talking about lately is where music is going to be going in the next few years, just because things with streaming are kind of changing. There's a lot of like ownership discussions going on, a whole bunch of stuff going on with that, but I kind of want to look back at where music has been, because all of us, you're the youngest one here, but me and Benji I think are the same age. We all kind of like grew up with the same music though.
Yeah.
And
Relatively.
Yeah. Like we all kind of first got our start listening to music a lot was in the 2000s.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then I guess for, me especially, Benji could probably say the same thing as well. In the 2010s is when we really started to like analyze music.
Consciously.
Yeah, like really think about it, And the question I was wanting to ask is, how do y'all feel music has progressed? Like, how has it changed and grown in comparison to, when we first started listening to music, the 2000s, and then in comparison to the 2010s? Because if you look at the 2010s, especially like the last like 5 years, like 2015 to 2020, music has changed drastically.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, and I kind of agree, not necessarily for the better, because a lot of things are starting to sound very like similar. A lot of like mainstream music is starting to sound very same, as opposed to in the 2000s where a lot of things were, at least from the outside looking in, a lot of things looked very fresh, looked very new. Sound was, people were pushing the envelope a little bit more. And in the 2010s, that's kind of slowed down a little bit, I think. So that's what I kind of wanted to touch on and see what y'all's thoughts were on how music has progressed, how music has changed, if you feel like it's been growing, getting better, if it's still staying the same.
So, I guess I'll go first. So, I guess, like, my blanket statement is kind of like music, especially after streaming blew up, it became, like, globalized, So, and by that, I mean that a lot of people only listen to, like, their local radio station. You didn't really have, like, the means to listen to music outside of, like, I don't say your comfort zone, but, like your area code, really, But now it's, like, with streaming, us right now in Atlanta, Georgia, I can listen to like a Nigerian rapper right now, and I couldn't do that in
very
2010.
easily.
Yeah. And I think to Marcus's point, that's what we kind of have this like, in my opinion, we're becoming this like genreless when it comes to music because that like between like our last episode, but it wasn't really an episode. But it was hard for us to like define a genre nowadays because every song, like a song can have like numerous genres. You know, you you could be a pop artist, but it's not about your music anymore. You know, pop artists are making those like indie acoustic, you know, little country twang in their beats and stuff.
Yeah.
And same with rappers going on like, you know, Afro beats going, you know, worldwide. And why, you know, Bad Bunny's so big. Like, who would have listened to a Spanish, you know, artist in 2010s, maybe the early 2010s, I'm like Shakira.
Well, I guess like you're saying, who would have listened to a Spanish artist in the U.S.?
Yeah, there
like
we go.
They weren't,
yeah.
The popularity wasn't as much there
If
The
they
attention.
were,
as the
attention
the
wasn't as much
attention,
there.
you know, and like just like you were saying, streaming has made that a lot easier. I feel like streaming and social media has really changed that dynamic from now to back then, because we didn't really have that. It was very, you know, you have to go out and buy albums to get music.
Yeah.
Now it's like you just have to stream it. So
sorry.
how music will develop is kind of a lot different, because with streaming you kind of have to put out more music to make money, to make like to make your name known and all that kind of stuff. So you have to kind of stay within almost like you have to kind of stay safe. Almost, you know, you can't really push the boundaries like that as a mainstream artist as much anymore. And then also it's like, how many big artists from the 2010s can you say are like pushing the envelope? You know what I mean?
Right now?
Yeah. Like if you can name them, I can name Kendrick.
Oh, well.
Cole. I feel like most of our big artists from this era, from the 2010s, aren't pushing the envelope. They're staying in that same kind of range.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like artists from the 2010s, and we're talking about like from early, like the start of the 2010s. It could be mid 10s, whatever. But a lot of them are also out of their primes. People aren't really, like, their fans aren't listening to them as much as they used to.
You mean like people from the early 2010s?
Even mid. Some of them are here today.
Yeah,
here today, like, gone tomorrow.
Because like one person, I don't know if you guys remember, well, I do, because like when it came to like the early 2010, those like my formative years, you know, like teenage, you know, and everything everywhere. I don't know if you guys remember. Well, at least for me, it was Kesha. Kesha was huge. Kesha was everywhere. You know, exactly.
I completely forgot about her.
And no one talks about Kesha anymore.
The weird makeup and shit. Yeah, I remember that.
Well, I love Kesha, but yeah.
Like, you can have the biggest song, biggest music, and you can be easily. It's not even that you're easily forgotten. It's just like, again, how music has been moving so fast. There's so much more new music now versus than there was last.
And then I think, to Marcus's point, like he made, it's like it was harder to go out and convince your parent to buy you an album. You know, a $12, $13 album.
Exactly.
Now I can pay $4.99 on Spotify, or maybe $10.99.
And you have access
to everything. You know,
everything.
So you can. So now I feel like the people that are big back then, I feel like it's because their fans had to invest more in them. You know, you have to go and pay for their music, pay for the concerts. Now it's like they're on social media. You know, they're very accessible without having to pay for them. The streaming services are relatively cheap, so now you got to do too much to hear, you know, like any type of big artist nowadays.
There's so many pros and cons now. Also, what I'm trying to get to is like nowadays a person that's just in their like garage or bedroom or basement can like, they have a chance. Like, they feel like they have a chance, and that's like a good thing, but also could be a bad thing, because I will say, since like the SoundCloud and all that era came
the SoundCloud
in,
era was like,
I'm not gonna lie, I heard a lot more whack music come out. I did. And like there was talks.
Mumble rap, like all that.
I'm not gonna mention names, but there is one individual, and I think Marcus knows who I'm talking about, who I personally just do not have an interest in to this day. I'm not gonna say it, but
can y'all text it to me? I don't know.
We'll get there one day. But I still don't see it. Like, I don't, and they could be big now. Like, they have reached their success, and all respect to them. Mm-hmm. But I just personally just like, all right, well, at least you got a check and you're doing good for your family. But like, artistically, musically, it's like, I feel like in a way they're part of the reason why music is getting watered down, and why music is like going down a easier format to just make.
I don't necessarily like blame the artist for that. I don't blame anybody for one, because at the end of the day, it is technically a good thing for everybody, really. Like, the fans, they like that music, so it gets pushed. And then also bedroom artists, smaller acts are having that opportunity to take it to that next level, to get bigger, and I feel that one of the things that kind of defines this whole conversation as far as whether music is progressing, I don't feel like mainstream music is progressing, but underground, independent, indie artists, they're definitely progressing their music forward, and I think that it's taking a lot more time, just because when you're an indie artist, you have like less budgets, less attention on you, so you can't really like get that out to the forefront. But I feel like the things that smaller artists do, and few and far between artists do, are kind of shifting things in a major way, and kind of like in the way that Kanye did, like at the end of the 2010s, early 2010s ish, around that time, with really almost every album after graduation, like shifting sound to where people are trying to like sound like him, but at the same time, even in this conversation, Kanye is a 2000s artist. Yeah. Like, really he's both, but as far as when he got big, it was 2000s. He's a 2000s artist, and I don't feel like you can really count too many big mainstream artists that are pushing the envelope that came out of the 2010s to 2020. I feel like most of those big artists, most of those mainstream artists who are putting out hits, who are on the radio, who are huge artists, are making the same kind of music. Trap music, really. Like, and that's another thing that kind of attached to the streaming era and attached to the SoundCloud era, where those artists really took that and ran with it and made a huge lane for trap music, to where now it's not just trap music was an Atlanta thing, and now it's a everywhere thing. Everybody is basically a variation of trap, until very, very recently with like, the New York sound, Pop Smoke and drill and all that kind of stuff. That's something new that really came from like overseas, but it's kind of like blending it. But I feel like throughout the really like the mid 2010s is when it changed. Because when did streaming start exactly? Does anyone know? I feel like it was like
I would have to say
2016, 2015.
I would say 2015, 2016, because like
2016.
Because like that's I would say that.
That's when I heard more SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah.
That's when I heard more of my friends saying, "Yo, I need to put this on SoundCloud."
Yeah, I'll say that too.
For sure.
2015, 2016.
Yeah, I mean,
so
really.
It's probably been out before then, but that's I feel like that's where the spike.
I don't know if y'all did it, but like, remember like back in the day when Spotify did those like 3-day free trials, I had to like put like your email address in. Yeah. And then you had to like just basically make a new email address like every 3 days. Yeah. So, but that was like 2013 maybe.
Honestly, I think it was closer to 2013, because I remember that's when I went to college. That's why. That's after I wasn't.
College.
Yeah. I don't know why that's so funny.
Why you laughing?
I have no idea why.
She's laughing like
why the word college is so funny.
No.
Like she's not in college.
College is funny. It was the age. I was like 23. I think I like wasn't even like in high school yet.
Yeah, you definitely the youngest.
That's why I was laughing.
Solidified her age.
Shit.
On air.
Anyways.
No, I was. I think I was like 9th grade.
Yeah.
2013, I started college. And before college, I wasn't doing any of this streaming shit. I was still buying albums on a regular basis.
Same.
Like, so I guess, I know in college is when I started, like Apple Music. I didn't start with Spotify. I started with Apple Music. So I think around then is when that happened. And then soon after that was how that kind of bedroom artists, trap artists, everybody kind of sounding along that same area kind of boomed a lot. And I really try to think about who would I say right now is kind of progressing music, and I can't think of too many people that.
I mean, we have yet to.
I could probably count them on two hands.
I mean, I remember watching this Drake interview, and he was talking about like him and J. Cole and Kendrick, and saying since they're reaching the 2020s, it's really gonna, like you were saying, it's really gonna show who has another gear to like take it into the 2020s.
I don't think Drake is progressive music at all, but that's just me.
Oh,
That's
no.
just him. All right. Well, back to my point. He was saying, and you know, I feel like out of those 3 artists, Kendrick is the one that I feel like is gonna make something in 2020 that's definitely gonna kick it up another gear.
I agree, because I don't even think I kind of expected Cole to be progressive music more, but I don't feel like he's taking steps back so much. I just feel like he's kind of staying in the same place.
Yeah.
As far as his art is going, you know, and I kind of depended when Chance first came out. I was super excited, because I felt like he was really pushing it in a different direction.
I was
like
never
with
into Chance.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was
not even
never
like,
get into him.
Not even like the early stuff.
Nothing.
I know his stuff now is kind of trash,
Nothing.
but the
There's
early
nothing.
stuff.
He's really just sticking to this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
It was nothing.
It's funny because people either like coloring book Chance or they like acid rap Chance.
I like none.
But it's very rare people actually like both.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with coloring book Chance, but I'm definitely a heavy acid rap.
I love coloring book
10-day Chance fan. Like I heard of Chance. I heard of Chance super early.
Yeah.
Like 10-day, like the song that he dropped like before 10-day came out. That's when I first heard about Chance and loved his music like right off the bat. And then when 10-day dropped, you know, that was just like a very big, because you know, like those are end of high school going into college. Those are very, like you said, kind of like formative years. And I just made a lot of moments with that album specifically, with and then also with acid rap, you know. So, and back then nobody was sounding how Chance was sounding. Yeah. You know, and I still feel like people don't really sound how Chance sounded back then. And Chance don't even sound like how he sounded back then, which is the hugest disappointment for me. Like, as far as artists that I expected to be better and bigger and make some kind of like changes and impacts in music, you know, I expected a lot more out of Chance's music than what he started to give us at the end of this decade. Yeah. Really, you know, and I thought he was gonna make gospel music cool, you know. Him and Kanye. That was a 1-2 punch. I know. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. That's the crazy part. Because everybody's saying like he's dope, and it's like I mean, same thing. I think I had this talk with Luke. I was like, I never was like a big fan of Tyler, but I will definitely say from the first song I ever listened to him,
Tyler's one who's pushed the envelope in the
I can respect him. Like I respect
in
that
general.
artistic, like the artistic value, the amount of like input he puts on everything that he's involved with, and just how specific he is to the T. Like,
and
I
even
like
his
that.
own work, like every single one of those albums grows from the album before.
Yeah.
Like he's changed crazy amounts, probably the most out of any artist from his first album.
From like that first single, like Yonkers to like now, I'm like this total not 180. Like it's still him, but it's just I can just really appreciate the fact that. Because a lot of people take chances, like, slightly. So it's like they're still keeping, like, that core and then a little tweak. Yep. But he's like, I'm Tyler on every single album. Like, this is different, like reflection.
His intention stays the same. That's one thing. Yeah. Like, and that's what's great about Kanye as well. I feel like the moment you start, like, maybe changing your intentions, but, I mean, it just depends on as a person or as an artist, you grow. You start to want different things. But the moment you start changing your intentions, I feel like that's, like, one of the big things that, like, fans start to, like, disconnect with you. Like maybe Chance's intentions changed at some point, and maybe that's why his fans began to like slowly disconnect, and like to a point where it's like
it's kind of bad to say, but when he got like clean, his music took a serious downturn, you know. But listen, as far as Chance goes, I'm super happy for him, the person, because he's gotten the life that he's wanted, you know. He's gotten all the money, the accolades. He's got a family. He's happy. I feel like he's happy at least.
You know
he seems happy.
I forget. He's like y'all. He's not old. He's like 25 or 26. Like he's.
Don't remind me that he's my age.
Oh,
like, Chance.
I
How
forget.
super
I thought-
successful he is. Don't remind
Oh
me.
no, I was talking about him having like a family, like
Yeah.
okay, well my bad.
I'm over
sorry.
here doing a podcast in a place I don't even own.
Cut that.
We're renting.
It's
I mean,
okay. It's okay.
That's a whole
Different
nother
paths,
topic.
different
I
paths.
could get into, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we can all like agree that I think the single most defining between 2010 to streaming, because to me, and like everything that we talked about happened because of streaming. You
Streaming and like the constant not the constant, but like the quick just switch of like, oh, we don't need a label, like we don't.
And I think that that's because of streaming. You know, if you
Yeah,
have, like,
for sure.
like,
Yeah. The fact that you
Yep.
can just put your music out there and like you can easily post it the same way.
Everywhere, literally.
Like back then, you couldn't just, hey Target, can you put my album on your shelf? Like, no, you can't do that shit.
Yeah,
No,
shit
but
was
you can
not
go on
like that.
Apple and just like pay a certain price for DistroKid or all that shit, whatever, and just have it on multiple things. And even if it's like badly mixed, badly mastered, it'll still get put up there, mastered to a certain level, so it matches the rest of the music, and it kind of like can do something, maybe, depending on if you find the right demographic or the right time, whatever.
Yeah. And I mean, that, and then also being able to promote your stuff is a lot easier than it was back then, you know, because when you have to drop albums in, like you said, like Target and Walmart and stuff like that, and you have to give out mixtapes and actually kind of go face to face with it in a way.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to
Mixtape
do
era.
that. You don't have to do that
CDs
at all anymore. At
Yeah.
all. Like, you just
don't
have to
have
go on your Twitter and say, hey, I just dropped a song. Or go on your Instagram and post a picture like, hey, song's out.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much easier to access even your friends with your music. You know what I mean? Like, even if you back then went to a big recording studio and made you a song, like to get it to your friends, you have to actually see them in person. And then, you know, you have to see all the people that you know, you have to actually see them in order to get your music to them. But now it's like you don't even have to do that. You can put it online, they'll see it, they can put it somewhere for their people to see if they like it.
But
you know,
then,
it's that spread is a lot easier.
and then that I kind of want to go into like our next topic, because I definitely brought that up, because now that you basically promote yourself, people see everything. Now it's like, you know, because like back then, like if you didn't have a good image, you weren't in Target, you weren't in Walmart, you know. But now, like, you don't need those.
See, I would disagree with that, because I feel, you said back then if you didn't have a good image, you weren't in there.
I mean,
because I feel like a lot of artists that didn't have good images.
And I do mean in the sense of like, I remember like multiple times, I can't think of like an exact example, but like, you know, say you did something that was like outrageous, or, you know, really like condemned, they will pull your album from the shelves.
I remember that.
Yeah, you know, that kind of thing. But now it's like, because physical
Like
albums
Tory can still sell his shit on Apple right now.
Yeah, but I bet when everything like went up, I bet
He'll
they
still
would
get
have
like
pulled that.
blackballed or blacklisted.
Yeah.
And, like certain he won't be on certain playlists, but he can still sell his stuff. But like, I remember there was a point in time, I can't remember what artist it was, but it was just a while ago. They did something, or that something was controversial, and their albums got like took off the shelves. I remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember I can't remember of an artist, but I do remember that happening. Like, honestly, was it Janet Jackson after that whole Super Bowl fiasco?
It was.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I look Madonna definitely, because like back in like her heyday, she got like excommunicated from the Catholic Church. So yeah, she had a lot of stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah.
Well,
no, I never kept up with Madonna. So.
Oh well, it was like random trivia facts. I forgot what she did, but it was something that the Pope condemned and excommunicated, but basically means that you can no longer be like a Catholic. I don't think she ever was one. That's the thing. I think they just excommunicated her just like in general.
It was a different jungle back then.
No, yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
It was, bro.
Like I feel like to be like that big, like you have to be huge for that, like the Pope to actually know who you are. But
that's another thing too. Like, artists who were big back then were humongous.
Yeah.
Like, big artists now, because there's so many of them, they're not as big. They're big, but they're not as big. But if you knew about someone in the 2000s, everybody knew about them. You know what I mean? There's nobody now. You can know about someone. We can know about someone, and someone in California is not gonna have any idea who they are. And they're still gonna be like huge artists making platinum songs and stuff like that.
I feel like if we go on like Spotify's like top top streaming artists, I feel like it wouldn't like it would be known, but like we all wouldn't know, because like I think like number 4 is like Dua Lipa, because like I love her, but like y'all listen to Dua Lipa, you probably never have listened to her.
I've only heard Dua Lipa on the Sugar remix.
But she's huge, but then again it's like she's huge, like you don't have.
Like, I've seen her name, and I've heard people talk about her, or people listen to her, but like personally, I don't listen to her.
Because there's so much other things to listen to now.
But I know she's getting, like, millions of
plays. And that's kind of like the balance between, like, what you were saying earlier with access and people's access to music. Mm-hmm. You have access to so much of it that you can really, like, pick and choose. And, it allows for so many more artists to have a platform, essentially. And... Back then in the 2000s, it was just
the radio.
It was just the radio. But also, I feel like the radio was better back then because those artists were better, and because music had more variety back then.
I was a different type of kid. I like the more and more y'all are talking, and the more and more I feel like growing up, I realized like I was definitely different because I was in middle school and I got introduced to rap at a like I always knew about like hip hop and stuff like that growing up, but like I didn't really start paying attention to lyrics until I heard like Lil Wayne's mixtapes, Drop 3, and that became my instant favorite rapper. Yeah, and then from there, like I looked for music online. I didn't listen for radio personally, just me.
True,
like
true
I looked like specifically just on like especially MySpace. Like I remember the MySpace days. I would be on like I was like
that's true. For
12
me too.
years old doing this.
Yeah, that's true for me too. But I definitely had an even earlier experiences before like I was on the computer and stuff. I was radio in the car. Like my parents, mainly my dad, would play a lot of hip hop, all the time. He was a huge Jay-Z fan, so I pretty much heard every big Jay-Z song from the 2000s, like every single one. You see,
and that's
which means I heard all of Pharrell.
I didn't get to that.
Yeah, me neither.
My parents are Hispanic. I didn't grow up with that. Like I had to find the music on my own. That's why like the first rapper I found was Wayne, and like literally I had a PSP filled of Wayne. And people
PSP.
No, deadass. Like no,
shit.
And this is a real story. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I remember being in middle school, and my friend who lived in my neighborhood, we would like share that earbud. Like, I have 2 earbuds, but we like he'll have the other one. And because
on the with a nigga.
Yeah. We was in middle school, listening to music. We was trying to listen to this new Wayne, and then he was like, every song I'm playing, he's like, bro, you know there's other rappers, right? And I was like, there is. There's other rappers, like what? And then that's when I started listening to T.I. Like I really came up with Under the South.
I used to
like,
love T.I.
South music was like where I really like found my love for rap and hip hop.
Yeah,
for sure.
True.
That's, for me,
I
so
mean,
I never got into
that makes
like,
sense because you're in the South. You were in the South, so that's what you kind of got to experience. If you were in New York, it probably would have been different. What were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say because like we're naming all these like old, like I don't say old, but like rappers that we grew up with, and then like we hear them like talk today, but it's like, damn, it's so cringe, the stuff that T.I. says, the stuff that Lil Wayne be saying,
Listen, there's not, and that's the thing about that difference between those two eras. Like a lot of those artists from back then, they still are. They're like old relevant now. Like if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like old people care about them, and they still have a voice, but nobody cares about their music anymore. And what were you about to say?
I was gonna say this kind of makes sense with the second topic of like separating the artist from the person. Like the moment you started realizing like, damn, Wayne supported Trump. Like Wayne was like Wayne's my favorite rapper of all time. Like rapper, not like creative. Kanye is mine, but like rapper wise, like Wayne is that. But like supporting Trump and all this other shit, and it's like, you really gotta separate the artist from the person.
And then I tell me if you guys agree. I feel like we hold those old heads, in my opinion, to different standards. It's like we expect them to say cringe
certain
stuff like that.
Things,
but
because they're old.
literally they're old.
Yeah.
I'm not. But if somebody like Baby Keem were to say something like that, I'm like, oh. Actually, he was gonna date, but he never really talks.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
He's still being constructed. He's still being constructed behind the scenes.
Travis Scott. He's someone that we expect him to say something, even though he never does. But we still like, oh, what's Travis gonna say? I was like, why keep on looking for this man to say something? He would just make his millions and then go home.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Travis does. Makes his money and then goes the fuck home.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and then we're sitting here just like conspiring, like, what's he thinking? I was like, why do we care what he thinks? You know, like, it's like we like his music thing, and
Isn't that enough?
yeah. Is it enough? Because I think it just,
To a degree, like I like my type of artist. I will say, like, I do like Ye, because well, the reasons why, like, I like College Dropouts, because that was again like an underdog story. Like, nobody believes in you. Everybody's telling you you're just this, you're just that. Yeah. And personally, that's who he was. I like that. And then musically, like, it was like the delivery. Mm-hmm. Music is like, oh shit, you're a great person. I fuck with that. Like, damn, I want to see you win. And damn, your music is amazing. Like that you become my favorite artist. Mm-hmm. But if you're like a shitty person and you just think about yourself and like it shows in your music, but you still got kind of cool music, I'm probably not gonna relate to you that well. Like, honestly, to a degree, like, I'll probably bump your shit, but like, if you like doing all this other shit like Cardi with all like the crosses and stuff like that, and, like, I don't know, I'm not.
I mean, like, people still love Cardi to no fault, but he did have a lot of people who looked at the whole crosses thing and all that, you know, religious kind of like making a mockery of it, and people was against him, I guess, for it, but it wasn't that deep, you know. Yeah. Like, people still listening to Whole Lot of Red, loving Whole Lot of Red. Yeah. You know, I just saw a meme today where it was like, I don't know, are you? Dang, I don't think you might. I might have to send it to you. But it was basically this dude. He did a TikTok where he was saying how he heard the first time he heard a Whole Lot of Red, and he was just like, man, this shit trash. This shit's ass. This shit is terrible. And then in the second part of the TikTok, he's over there singing at the top of his lungs, fucking Control, that whole shit, like, going crazy. And I was just like, that's how people are with music. And you know, in general, especially now.
And that's like super annoying, because then the people that are making all these long Twitter think piece threads, I'm just like, so you listen to the album, you know? It's like, so to me,
you still put money in their pockets.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not mad at you, but at the same time, it's like, you can't really play both sides. You know, either just shut up and listen, or say something and don't. But then it's like, I don't know. It's just too hard to tell nowadays, because, like, in my opinion, even if somebody does say something in support of what I believe, I'm like, they wouldn't. I can't check them. For all I know, they could be all pro whatever and still doing, you know, stuff behind the scenes.
That's why, for me, when it comes to trying to cancel somebody, you know, I don't really subscribe to that idea, like, in a general kind of sense. Yeah, just because for so many things, I feel like we're only getting a single piece of a whole pie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting the full picture of any situation that we're seeing out there, like, that we see in the media, all that kind of stuff. Like, even if it seems like cut and dry, I just feel like there's always something that will come out later, or always some kind of, like, thing that's, like, different from the situation, and it's just like gets all mixed up.
Yeah. See, like, I will say, I used to be one of those cancel people.
Oh, I know.
For real?
No, yeah.
Who's the first person you canceled?
Can we say names? Tentacion? Yeah, can we say names? Because, I mean, really,
Who?
Him, Kodak.
X.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, him,
really?
Kodak, Ian. Yeah, I mean, well, me.
Super canceled him.
Really? Yeah,
Super
and I mean,
I can't even say their name around her back then.
I mean, no, back in the day, if we were in the car and they would play, and I feel like they played on purpose to piss me off.
She would get out of the car.
I was like, I was like mad face.
Literally.
No, yeah, and like, and to me, like, I still don't care for them, but at the same time, one thing I realized is that I'm putting a lot of energy into somebody that has no idea who the fuck I am. And that's kind of when I just kind of, like, let it go. Not because, like, they're bigger or better. I was like, honestly, all I can do is just, like, yeah, I don't like them. But if I ever see them in real life, I'm not gonna go up and run up on them. Yeah. You know, that's gonna do no justice. Yeah. But and then also, it's just like the whole, like, mob mentality is kind of what I'm not liking now. Because literally, now it's like, say that Kanye says something that somebody doesn't agree with, they will actively go and search for something, you know, to call him out and cancel him. I was like, okay, yeah. And see, true enough. To me, now it's being insincere. It's like, I'm not going to go back and be like, oh, remember he said that in 2013? Like, no. He said something today. I'm like, all right, cool. That's kind of ass.
And then one thing that I don't really like about cancel culture is that once whoever speaks first is the winner, essentially. Like, if someone comes out and says, you know, Oh, this is if someone came out and said that Benji did something to him.
Okay.
Benji is going down.
Benji is on the defense now.
Not that he's just on the defense, but he is going down. Benji could have been all the way on the other side of the world. No way he did anything.
Yeah.
He is never gonna live that down again.
Yeah.
Ever gonna live it. He could even once he proves himself, it's just like the criticism towards him from before he was able to prove that he was innocent or able to kind of like show, hey, maybe I didn't do this, is gonna be way louder than people apologizing or saying like, oh well, I guess you didn't do it. It's just gonna kind of like go to the wayside, and I feel like that happens a lot with artists, with just like anybody who's like popular. Once somebody accuses you of something, it's like it don't matter what happens after that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I realized about myself is that I was kind of for the underdog. So, really, like, rappers say, like, somebody, like, definitely, maybe, like, I was, like, a regular. But, yeah, somebody that wasn't famous, had no status, had no clout, accused him. I was like, okay, because in my opinion, why would I go out of my way to say all this, knowing I'm going to get all this backlash, knowing I'm going to get these death threats and all these, you just, want some money. I was like, so, to me, I empathize because they're going through a lot of shit just to say something that nothing will probably ever come of it anyway. Because to me, people that I just named, well, other than X, rip, but whatever. But, like, they're still, like,
whatever.
They're still big, and it's crazy because, like, someone like Ian, like, Drake fucks with Ian, So I was like, but nobody knows that because he makes his association very, like, meticulous, like, you don't really know.
He picks and chooses.
Yeah,
he
the
picks
ins and outs.
who he wants people to know.
Yeah,
like,
and that's why I'm
think
just
about
like,
that too. Like, should Drake have been canceled?
that's what I'm saying. I'm just like,
Drake have been canceled for fucking with Ian?
No, not fucking with Ian, for being
other
a
stuff?
deadbeat dad.
For being a deadbeat dad?
Yeah.
I don't think he was a deadbeat.
And that's the thing. He's not now. But you gotta understand the background of that whole situation. Like, way before the first kid thing, he was in the background trying to make his baby moms look appealing to people.
Yeah.
So that when he finally decided to roll out that he had a child.
Roll out.
And that's what it was. That's what it was. He was about to roll him out with an Adidas deal.
Yeah.
Like, he was only gonna do that. Well, I don't know the man, so I can't say that. But it seemed like he was doing that to make it a thing to profit off of.
Yeah.
And then when the whole beef with Pusha T came about and all that got exposed and he basically didn't do the deal, he essentially tried to switch around and be like, hey, I just love my kid, I was hiding the whatever the fucking bar is.
So
whatever the fucking bar
coming from a non-Drake fan.
Whatever, bruh.
Well, I'm a Drake fan, and I did not know the ins and outs. I thought Pusha T outed him for having a child, and he was like, you know what? Yeah, now you know. Now see me as a
I'm a
dirty
Drake
father.
fan. I like that Pusha bodied him. Personally.
Yeah. Pusha destroyed that.
I don't know about destroyed.
But that's
Drake fan.
But that's not bruh, that's neither here nor there. The whole point is that I feel like when it comes to canceling, I feel like when it comes to separating artists and music or whatever, I feel like it just depends on how big you are and how much people like you.
Yeah, and I think it depends on like what the canceling is for.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. But I definitely feel like for us, for people,
so many times.
Yeah. But like when you think about Drake, since so many people like him and so many people are a fan of his, I think it's impossible really to cancel. He would have to. I don't even know what he could do to where he would be canceled.
Let's not say it. We ain't
for more than like.
We ain't trying to put the energy out there.
For more than 2 weeks, like.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, when people get canceled, they get canceled for, a time. Yeah. Like, not a lot of people get canceled for forever. You know what I mean? Like, we got R. Kelly. He's canceled for forever. He's never coming back. But honestly, when you think about Tory Lanez, is Tory Lanez really canceled?
No.
And then
he's still able to have like a voice.
He's
everywhere.
He's always getting features.
Yeah, and then even with R. Kelly, it took that documentary. People knew for.
It took forever to get
canceled.
It took forever to get canceled.
Like,
it took years. Yeah. Maybe even a decade. No, like a decade.
It was like a decade. It was like a decade.
And so to me, it's kind of just like who are like the. It's like judge, jury, and executioner, And if I went to give everybody like that role, like those meetings become meaningless now. So like,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, me and Mars are friends, but I'm not gonna take his word. Like, yeah, cancel Drake. I'm like, who are you? You know, to say that.
I got a question. Is it possible to like? Well, I know it's possible to not get canceled, but is it possible to defend it before it even happens, or is it just like, well,
What do you mean?
like you said, somebody can just say something about me, and it's like, damn, I can't even, like, people are gonna even if it was right, or if it was true or false, like people are gonna believe.
Is it so? Are you saying is it possible for you to defend yourself
Like
from being
before it
canceled?
even happens, or is it just like, damn, I just got
I
canceled?
mean,
There was nothing I can do beforehand.
The only way it can happen if before it happens, I guess, is if you actually did it.
What
You know, if you actually if you actually did it and you came out and said like, "Hey, I did this."
Oh,
thing.
so say it before.
Yeah, I guess. I don't even know if that would work very well.
So to me,
though.
it's more so about like redemption at that point. Because to me, a good example is like Shiah Labeouf. Because after FK came out with that, like he admitted, not to that extent, he was like, I didn't do all that stuff, but I'm not gonna diminish what she's saying.
Yeah.
Well, he was saying, I think he admitted basically to what FK, because I don't know if you knew, but it wasn't just FK Twigs that came out. It was FK Twigs.
And then his ex-girl. Yeah, and that's even a better example because like I used to love Shiah Labeouf. But yeah, he's had like his past 3 consecutive girlfriends have all accused him of like abuse at some point in time. But FK Twigs is like the biggest of the 3 girls.
Yeah.
So to me,
so that's the one that matters the most.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, I was like, so it took a lawsuit, 3 women, you know, to have a collective voice against one guy. And to me, people are still defending him, you know? And that's the thing, like, even... So to me, I feel like even if we all say that the sky is blue, someone's going to say that it's not blue, just to be against the grain,
and
you know?
The Shia LaBeouf situation is a very, like, good example for this conversation, because in that kind of situation, as far as canceling versus... I feel like there's canceling and there's just recognizing when someone did some fucked up shit, you know, and then kind of the line between those two, you know, and because his the director of Honey Boy, I forgot what her name is.
Yeah.
She basically came out and said something like that I really felt like was a good response to what happened. She was siding with FK Twigs, but what she was saying was that like, yeah, Shiah is very damaged, which he is. He's had a damaged child. Everybody knows that from like everything, but that doesn't excuse him for what he did. You know what I mean? And I feel like people are so far on extremes as far as like, yeah, we're just gonna cancel him. He's the worst person in the world. To, nah, we gotta defend him. He's just this, he's just that. And I'm just like, for me, it's like, I understand, you know, that he did something that was terrible, right? And he should be, you know, people should get on to him for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I feel like it's important to also understand like where those kind of things come from, and then, you know, not forgive him or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But just like, I just feel like when you're canceling someone, I feel like canceling is just a little bit more for the optics.
Yeah, no,
you know, for the
optics.
optics. You know what I mean? It's not about what's really going on between these two people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 2 comments. One, like, yeah, because I remember when it all broke down, when it all happened, this one guy commented, he was like, great actor, I guess he shouldn't date anymore. To the people that really just have a divide, like, hey, man, love Shia LaBeouf as an actor, but he shouldn't, you know, women steer clear. And then kind of to what you just said, I feel like the fact that you want to make it like a collective is kind of where the issue is. Like you can personally not like Shia LaBeouf anymore. You know, but why do you feel the need to
make other people not like Shia LaBeouf?
To make people like, oh, you like Shia LaBeouf? Why? I was like, well, you know, like, terrible example because, you know, he did a terrible thing. But, you know, like, you cannot like someone and people can disagree with you. And that's the thing now. It's like, if you're not with the collective, you're, like, also a part of whoever's being canceled. And I was like...
And then let's think about this, too. Like, are we never watching anything with Shia LaBeouf in it ever again for the rest of our lives?
Because I love Transformers.
Transformers is the thing. That's not even his best work.
It's not, but it's an entertaining
I'll put on
movie.
Even Stevens, like,
Oh wow, that is terrible.
I'm looking way back before this even was like, I'm looking like.
But no, I'm saying like, you know, years down the line, are we still not watching Shia LaBeouf shit because of what he did. I kind of feel like it's a very, very hard thing.
Is that what we mean though by separating the person from the art?
Yeah, because I think it's at that point.
Because I mean, you're separate. It's like you cannot like them as a person, but you can still like their work.
Yeah, because it's not only Shia LaBeouf in the movie, it's Shia LaBeouf and the director, the other actors, the producers, and I was like, damn, like maybe like whoever else he's in the movie with, and I'm just gonna like not watch it just because of this one person. Which, damn, now I'm thinking about it. Ugh.
Yeah, it's hard because
I mean, I'm not gonna condemn the man. Like, I'm not gonna say, yo, you should never date again in your life. Who the fuck am I to say that? Like, honestly, who am I? Like,
but I would definitely not tell anybody to date him either. Like, you know, off of experience.
I mean that too, but then there's also, you know, and just before I even say this, it's not anybody's place to forgive him for what he did. That's besides the women who have accused him of doing what he's doing and that he's admitted to doing what he did. You know, it's only up to them. You know, like we have no say in that. But at the same time, as far as how we feel as viewers, you know, we're attached to the work that he does. We're attached to him as an artist. So I guess for us, we have to kind of decide for ourselves where we want to kind of draw our line as far as how we're going to support, if we're going to support him ever again, or if we're just going to be like, you know what, need a break from Shiah for right now, you know. But at the same time, the reason why it's hard is because, you know, there's nothing that can fix what he did. You can't go back and take it away, so it's always going to be there, you know. Even 10 years from now, you know, probably not 10 years, he'll probably be done acting by then, but 5 years from now, he drops a movie that, you know, we all really want to see. Like, do we not go see it because he did this thing not 5 years ago, because this was even a year back from now, you know? So, and he's admitted to it, and
that's the thing too. It's, you know,
like, are we able to let him redeem himself, or are we able to let him progress?
Unlike most people, he's not denying it. He's not saying no, don't believe her, I do none of that stuff. He's like, you know, they're not wrong.
I was fucked up.
Yeah,
it's exactly what he said.
So now I'm just like, okay, he did a terrible thing. He admitted it. He's getting help. You know, so now I'm just like, it's like that weird place, because it's kind of like Chris Brown. You know, he did it. He had his whole redemption tour. He went on TV shows, talked about it. Rihanna forgave him. They dated again. Now it's like, damn, I don't like. To me, if Rihanna can go back, the person that was actually, you know, at the heart of what happened, why am I still mad?
Yeah, and some people are still mad at Chris Brown for that. I mean, like, even today, like, even though Rihanna has forgave him and kind of basically explained like what he was saying, that they were both kind of violent with each other, you know, like, so what do you do as a viewer? Like, I don't feel like I'm not gonna watch Shia LaBeouf movies for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I feel like it's important to kind of understand where a person is like now, and where they're, you know, kind of giving them the space to change and space to, you know, grow. And they can't really you can't ever really like fix when you do something like that, but, you know, you can make the progress to try to make a better future for not yourself, but for whoever you're around, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and to me, I feel like I would, even the name itself, it just seems so like fixed, like, because it makes it seem like what you did is who you are. And I was like, well, you know, life is really long.
Yeah,
you know?
That's the thing.
You know, because like, just imagine, like, you know, we're still young, like, we need something now, but imagine for like 30, 40, like, is that still, like, it's a defining moment, but doesn't define who you are as like a person.
Yeah, and that's an important thing as well, because people can do really messed up things I mean, that's part of human nature, really. Like, people do shitty shit to
people make mistakes.
People people make mistakes, or people can even like consistently make mistakes for a portion of their life, which is what Shiah did, you know. But as far as he goes, you know, it was part of a cycle of you know, trauma for him, you know what I mean? And if he is able to stop that cycle and then go on with his life and be a better person, and which it seems like he said, and what I feel like we're seeing a little bit he's trying to do, trying to kind of like confront those things that, you know, went on in his life. Can we I feel like we should be able to at least accept that.
Yeah.
You know, as viewers who aren't even have no stake in this conversation, have no stake in what he did to her at all. Like, you know, we don't have no place there, so why should we keep on killing a man, you know, forever?
I don't feel like whenever something like this happens, it could be the Rihanna, it could be Shiah, like in a lot of cases, people, fans, viewers, whatever, just don't invest too much in a life that's not yours. But if you do, use this as an example of something to not follow. Like, yeah, even the fucking biggest people in the world that get paid and are known can fuck up. And if you see this shit happen in front of you, if you feel that way about Shiah, and if you see it happen in front of you, then you can't change the Shiah shit. But if it happens in front of you, if you know of it happening around you, then you can change that, or you can have an input on
True
that.
enough.
Like, control what's around you, control your energy. Don't invest. I'm not saying crucify this.
Control your energy.
Don't crucify this, man. But at the same time, like, don't feel like, oh my God, Shiah, he's been through so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a middle ground.
Yeah, it's a middle ground.
You don't know this person, and that's how I felt about like the whole Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion thing. I was like people are really saying fuck this man,
especially with that situation, because it's just so much that we don't have any idea about.
Like, why are you saying fuck this man? Why are you saying fuck this girl? You don't know them. You don't personally know these people like at all. Like, if you do, that's one thing, but you don't know them. But to go out and say I'm not fucking with Tory. Oh no, Meg is a liar. She's this, and like, yo, that's their business. That has nothing to do with you. I understand, like, you're a viewer and you have your input, you have your opinion, but it's to a certain degree where you're investing way too much into it. Yeah, you're investing too much into something that's not your own reality. Like, and that's like.
And I feel like it's because we have these people, like all these stars, we hold them to such a high standard, and they're kind of like idols to us.
And it's almost. Like we're constantly like comparing ourselves sometimes, like, and it could be even subconsciously. Like,
no, it is because like I do feel like when people are like, bro, you know, fuck her, fuck him, like they're putting themselves in that situation. Yeah. I was like, that will
even the Chance 27 years old thing, like, back to that topic, but it was something I wanted to say. I was like, I don't know, man. I just look at life like a highway. Like, everybody has their own lanes. No, real shit though. It doesn't. Like, look, it doesn't matter what time you leave your house right now. It doesn't matter what time we leave this room right now. There's always gonna be somebody in front of us. There's always gonna be a car in front of us.
He's dropping the gems right now.
Bro, no, for real. There's always gonna be somebody in front of us. There's always. It doesn't matter how early, how late you leave. There's always gonna be somebody in front of us.
Hold on.
That's the same thing saying like time is like a circle. That's what I'm thinking of.
In a way, but it's like there's always gonna be somebody in front of us, and there's always gonna be somebody going faster than you. But just because they're going faster than you doesn't mean that they're going where you're going, because they could get off on another exit. Or you can get off the same exit, and that exit could have a red light, and you just got there at the same time they did.
You spent a lot of time in the car.
He really did.
No, for real, like, no, for sure. But and then it's my last like analogy, last like little point. It's like, and if you're too focused on the person in front of you, don't focus on the person behind you. Like, don't look in your rear view too much, because you might crash. Like, for sure. Yeah. Like, I don't know. This
is a life and driving lesson.
I just feel like people just need to stop. Like, hold your to a degree, like, use people as inspiration, but use them also as like learning. Like, wow, like, I just use Ye. Like, damn, Ye did this and that, and at 27 or 26, he dropped his first album 26, 27. Doesn't mean I'm finna be a rapper and drop my first album 26, 27, but that does mean like I'm gonna strive to like do something big for myself, not for the world. That doesn't mean my own accomplishment at 26, 27. Like, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Like, personally, that's just how I feel about it. But yeah, people just invest their time too much into the celebrities, into life that's not theirs. They invest into it.
This is completely like unrelated, but kind of related. Did y'all know that Hugh Jackman was gay? Or kind of might be gay.
Hugh Jackman again?
He has a wife.
Wolverine?
Yeah.
He has a wife and stuff, though.
It's kind of rumored that he might have been gay this whole time. And the reason why I bring that up is because I was just talking to my fiance about this, like, because we was watching this movie.
Must be nice.
We was watching this movie, Bad Education, and he plays a closeted gay man
Yeah.
in that movie, and I was just like, it was just so hard for me to see because he's Wolverine. And I was just like, oh no, Wolverine can't be gay. Wolverine, not even in a movie, Wolverine can't be gay.
Hey, man.
And then we looked it up, and it
Yeah.
turns out that it's been a long-standing
Yeah.
rumor that he might be a gay man.
Yeah.
And it's just
Okay.
like, and that's why I said I'm not having no more white idols. I'm not
You're
believing in no
saying
more
gay,
white. I'm not believing in no more white
He has a
niggas,
wife,
bro.
so he's, if anything, bisexual. Really, just queer. Queer, just the
Or
blanket
she's
statement.
she's his beard.
For that long?
Yeah. Have you seen his wife?
Yeah.
I don't know what she looks like.
Exactly.
She's not the cutest
Exactly.
girl. For real?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hugh. I love you. Sorry. But yeah, I
And
said
why
after that, I'm not having no more white.
Hey man, why can't Wolverine be gay?
Wolverine, Shiah Labeouf a couple weeks before that. Like
Yeah.
these niggas is letting me down, man. Like these white
Hey,
folks are
man.
really letting me down.
Yeah.
They can't let you down if you don't look up to them.
Exactly. I shouldn't be looking up to any of these
Yeah.
white niggas, right, Benji?
Yeah, you should.
Exactly.
I mean,
Facts.
in ways,
I feel that.
In ways you can. I
feel that.
He's so satisfied with that statement.
In ways you can, but in a lot of ways, it ain't like you like Hugh Jackman for his like sex life or the way he carried himself with women. So at least you can.
That's true.
Yeah. So like.
But Wolverine is a real nigga, man. Like
Yeah.
relax.
Let's get it back.
You know what you're
Relax.
implying.
Yeah, you know what you're
Relax.
implying.
Okay. Relax. I know. It's just because it's him specifically as Wolverine.
I know what you
specifically.
mean though. You're not saying that he's a masculine. Like it's like a masculine thing. It's like, yo, that's like the guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's the man.
Exactly.
That's the man.
The man can be gay.
The man can be gay. Like when I
Wolverine
know
wasn't
no
gay, though.
see this is the thing. When the
Not
man is already gay, like Tom Hardy is gay. Yeah.
Tom Hardy's not gay.
He's hey man.
Tom Hardy.
I don't know.
Bane. Right? Tom Hardy. Bane.
Tom Hardy's not gay.
Yeah, Tom Hardy is Bane, but I don't think
Tom Hardy is gay.
He's not gay.
Yes, he is.
I'll look it up right now.
Look it up. I'm almost 100% sure that Tom
Damn.
Hardy is a gay
Hardy-
man.
I'm pretty sure he has a wife. Hold on.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm
He
gonna
has
let you
a
know
wife,
this. I'm
married
gonna
in
let you,
2014.
I'm gonna let you know this now. Having a wife has nothing to do with it.
Stop saying that. Charles, this is his wife.
Let
He
me
has
give you
3
a phone,
children.
Please.
The person that I know is gay was that guy. Well, I know a lot of guys that are gay. But on How I Met Your Mother, the guy that played the womanizer, he was gay in real life. Well, he is. Neil Patrick Harris. And then, yeah. But yeah, find it for me. Because I'm just like, there's no way he...
I could have sworn someone said that Tom Hardy was either gay or bi or something like that.
I mean, I believe being bi. I believe any guy wouldn't say that they're bi.
But either way, what I'm saying is like when I first got introduced to Tom Hardy, that was part of it. So it was like, okay, I understand. At first, like when it's introduced like that, it's just like, okay, that's I understand. I get it. It's fine. There's nothing like wrong. But when it's like known you as this whole time, and then it just like kind of like it's like getting like a bomb dropped on you. Like someone is completely different than what you thought they were.
Yeah,
you know what
and
I mean?
I see that.
That's
point.
really all it is. It's nothing to do with being gay or straight or anything like that. It's just when you have someone that it's the same conversation. Like when you have like a Kanye or like a Travis. You know, Travis is who he is. If something comes out, tomorrow that Travis has been, the reason why Kanye and Travis broke up is because he was abusing her or some shit like that. It's like that drops a bomb on everything that Travis does
Some
and
bad
has done.
being talked at right now, but I feel it. As your example,
It
man.
changes.
You know?
It changes everything, bro.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you just can't look at it the same no more.
Yeah.
Like that's the issue with that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying as far as the whole Hugh Jackman thing. But that was really more so just to be funny. That Hugh Jackman
a
is-
good example would have been Brokeback Mountain with Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger, how they both play gay guys, but they're not gay in real life.
I never watched that movie. So.
I didn't watch it either. Well, I watched some of it.
I've seen that movie. Yeah.
How was it?
Yeah, how was it?
It was all right. It wasn't a bad
Yeah.
movie as a movie. It was weird with the watching like the gay stuff.
Gotcha.
But
did y'all ever see Call Me by Your Name? With,
that was a really good movie though.
What's that again?
That was a really
Call Me
good
by
movie.
Your Name.
Oh no, I never seen that.
You ain't never
It's a
seen that?
movie.
Nah.
With Armie Hammer and Timothy Chalamet?
Yeah.
Hell no. No.
I don't
well,
feel like that's your type of movie anyway.
What
It's
kind
not.
of what kind of movie?
Well,
is it?
basically, it's about an American exchange student coming to stay with an Italian family, and the two men. Well, one's like a teenager, one's like a man. They fall in love.
That's really the
Okay.
bad part about Call Me by Your Name is that nigga is old as shit and he's a kid.
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
And
So it's
they
like a
have-
drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a real drama.
I mean, I'm not either, honestly.
like-
I just watch it because
Like my genres is like mystery and horror.
I watched that movie because of the movie music. Like that was I didn't even
Thriller.
see the movie at first. I just heard like the little soundtrack and I really liked the
Yeah.
music, so I went and watched
Yeah.
the movie.
It's a good movie though.
Yeah.
But and then I feel like we'll be having these problems if like actual like gay people play gay things or gay characters, but we're so used to seeing like straight guys playing gay, so like are they gay? And I was like,
Yeah, that is a real thing.
I mean, that just means they're good actors.
that is true.
yeah,
Like,
but then it's also about like representation, because then you see like people actually growing up who actually might be gay, they're not sure yet, and they see this guy playing pretend gay. It's like, oh well, like if he's pretending like
Yeah.
am I fake?
This-
like
Yeah.
this goes into into a whole another thing about how most actors that we see in movies playing American people are British.
yes,
But-
so
and they do
many.
it well.
They do.
Really
They
well.
do.
Very well.
But we are
Literally every single black icon movie was played by a British
this
man.
is true. This is true. I would love to talk about it, but we are out of time now.
Next time.
Yeah, on our next episode, we'll get in. Probably not into that. We'll probably forget about that by the next episode. But still, it's a good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But
It is.
we're
British
at the end now.
invasion.
Yeah. All
The
right.
black British invasion.
All right. Okay, we're wrapping up now.
All right.
To everybody out there watching, listening, wherever you're at on any DSPs or watching on YouTube or wherever this is on, because I don't even know where it's about to be on yet. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. We love you. And we are out of here.